Coming out of Eastern Oregon, damn near Idaho. You're listening to the Double Talkin with Dogbite Hair Show.
If I gotta stay at home, I think I'd rather stay at home with you. And if I gotta sit inside, I think I'd rather sit inside with you. Why don't you come on by if you've got nothing else to do? Because I want to quarantine, I want to quarantine, I want to quarantine with you. I wanna watch the clock, think of everyone dying off with you. If I gotta die today, I think I'd rather share a grave with you. Why don't you come on by if you've got nothing else to do? Because I want to quarantine, I want to quarantine, I want to quarantine with you. Yes, I do. I want to quarantine, I want to quarantine, I want to quarantine with you. Because I want to quarantine, I want to quarantine, I want to quarantine with you.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Double Talking with Dogbite. On this episode, I got Knuck from the Scoffs, man.
What's happening?
Seattle royalty on my Zoom right now. How's it going, buddy?
Good. Hey, don't royals usually have riches like gems and shit?
Maybe veteran was a better term of.
Yeah, veterans have nothing.
Yeah, no shit. Prosthetic legs.
Yeah, I mean, a couple thanks.
Shitty
now
health
and then.
insurance. Yeah.
Yeah,
Alcohol problems. Yeah.
yeah. Waiting rooms.
So, man, yeah, dude, I saw that the Scoffs put out a new album, and I was like, fuck. I've been trying to do some more podcasts, so fuck, get Knuck back on, man.
Yeah, it's good timing. Like I've been trying to get out there and spread the word. So I appreciate the invite.
Absolutely, man. I always love what you guys do. The first album you guys did got me through the fucking pandemic, and all your guys, the shit you guys are doing, man. It's good stuff, man. It's like it was good to hear your voice again. Because you kind of went on, at least I don't know if you went on a hiatus, but you went on a My Kind of Music hiatus, so I hadn't seen or heard you around for a while. I knew I'd saw you with the Frames or the Frames.
Yeah.
Frames, that's right. I saw you. That was the first time I'd seen you in years. And I was like, oh shit, that's Knuck. Awesome.
Yeah, I didn't go away, but I deviated. Like I went over it. I decided, I was having this crisis, after I ended Drag Strip Riot. With that kind of went my entire identity, for an entire decade. That's who and what I was. That's what I did. And so I didn't quite know what to do. I decided to do a band with the songs that never could have made the cut in Drag Strip Riot. And in fact, some that didn't, that were shot down by members for being too soft or whatever. And so I did kind of Americana and blues stuff in this band called Jackrabbit Starts. And I had Hank from Shivering Denizens and on bass.
Hank's down in Austin now, I think.
Yeah. And so we did this sort of blues thing, and it was cool. You know, we wore ties and hats and stuff, and but nobody came to see it because I don't think anybody wanted to see me do blues, right? So it's all right. I mean, it was fun to do it, and it was cool to stretch my legs a little bit. And you know, so we definitely weren't playing with the bands that you would see me in rock clubs with. You know, it was more like Highway 99 Blues Club supporting blues stuff and soul bands and stuff. And you know, Graceland 5 kind of broke up as well, imploded really. And then so that was, you know, when people didn't see me in the rock clubs playing stuff much. But yeah, I got tired of sitting in my ass, and you know, I started up the Freems in the meantime. Well, I didn't. I joined the Freems together with a couple other people. We created it. Started as the idea to do soul covers, and it was the bassist of Jackrabbit Starts and me, the guy that replaced Hank Casey.
Yeah, I didn't know Casey replaced Hank.
Yeah,
Starts cool. Yeah, I've known Casey for a long time, man. Randomly enough, just how worlds intertwine sometime. Because at the same time, I was like, "Fuck, I haven't seen Casey in years too," and now they're in a band together. Last time I saw Casey, he was in fucking Bend.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he was in the
and
box.
He still goes down there to play all the time.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of shit with Johnny Bourbon, man. His album's fucking great, and like he's playing on Johnny Bourbon's solo album right now too. So
cool.
Yeah, Casey's a good.
I mean, he's such a good dude, and he's such a great bassist. And I found him, like, he had posted that he was a new bassist in town and looking for something, and I was like, I need a guy. So we got along so well. And so anyway, his gal, Kelsey, that he lived with, and was a singer in a band called Blue Tracks, and she's an amazing singer. And she said, "You guys want to play some soul covers?" And we said, "Yeah, that sounds like fun." And so we got together, and we ended up writing a bunch of original stuff. And so then we had a soul band. So I was doing that, but I was still like longing to play fast, aggressive rock and roll. And so we did a 1-year reunion of Dragstrip Riot's original 4 members, the guys that started the band. And when that had run its course, Nate Manning, who was filling in for the original bassist guy, he was my photographer in Dragstrip Riot for years, said, "Well, I want to keep playing." I said, "I want to do punk stuff." It's been years. That's how I started out. I just, you know, I'm not getting any younger, and I want to do it while I've got the pipes and the strength to do it. And so I started writing some songs, and we pulled together some guys that had hit me up. Like Gabor had hit me up and said, "Hey, if you ever need a guitarist for anything, let me know." And I said, "Yeah, you got it, man." And Rob was my drummer in the Graceland 5. And so I hit him up because I know he's amazing. And so boom, we had a band. And then you saw me again. I was back.
Right on. Yeah. The first time I saw you was with I saw you with the Frame, and then I saw you. I think I was at that anniversary show with Dragstrip Riot. Me and Patrick from Splatterhouse booked Splatterhouse Ruckus. I think you guys played that, so you guys probably did more than one show. I think, didn't you? Or was that just the one show you guys did together?
Yeah, we did a year of shows. So we did our last one was a Tacoma show. We did that Splatterhouse one. We played with the Necromantics. And I think there was an Everett one as well. It was funny, in the original run of the band, Tony V had always been hitting us up and was never able to get us on a bill. I didn't realize that we'd never played up there. And so when we got back together for a reunion, it was like, we're finally playing our first Everett show. So anyway, 15 or 12 years as a band, and we never played up there. So it's kind of wild. So yeah, that was
pretty fucking random. You guys are that fucking around that long, you know.
Yeah.
And everybody was playing Tony V's when I was up there too. Like, I wasn't even playing at all then. You know, I was just like following the Sawyer family and Bob Wayne, you guys around, you know. And but yeah, everybody was playing Tony V's then. That's like crazy you guys didn't fucking end up at fucking Tony V's.
I know, it was fun. I think it was actually on stage. I was like, "This is the first time we've been at Tony V's," and you know, however many years we were broken up, 8 years or whatever. And Tony V's in the audience going, "You never played here." And I was like, "Shit, okay." Sorry.
Right.
Yeah. So the Scoffs was kismet, man. I mean, these were all buddies of mine, and it just fucking fell together. And so like the music came real natural with all of us too.
Yeah, you
cool.
guys, we were talking a little bit before we came on. You've been fucking pumping them out since you started, man. I wish I had that. I wish I had that ability. Sometimes I do. I used to. It's just been fucking a decade since I've been able to do that.
Yeah.
And I imagine that feels pretty fucking good after a while of kind of not having that. But yeah, it seems like, all your stuff is great, man. I'm always fucking stoked to hear it. And the first album was just, that one was fucking rad as shit, man. And then all those little singles you did during the pandemic, I'm not sure if you guys actually ever put that on like a full-length album or not, but there's like so many cool, like I Want to Quarantine with You and all those fucking ones that you did.
Yeah. So this album that we put out, wait, here I have it. This album that we put out.
I can't
showing up. That's kind of funny. Well, whatever. It's black, so it wants to cut it. Kind of, maybe if I wave it around, you can see.
You can kind of see it. That's cool.
Yeah. Anyway, our album, The Lonely Ones, it's our first full-length album. So it's 10 songs on there, and it has the first EP that we put out. So the stuff at the beginning of the pandemic, because we never, we got to put out a CD virtually during the pandy, as we call it.
Pandy.
Yeah. And then, like you said, we dropped a couple singles. So we had Just Cause, and we had I don't know, other songs. And so we put that on there with the first EP, the first 5 songs, the Talk is Cheap. And then so essentially it's like 3 EPs in one. So it's a brand new EP, the first EP, and then the middle single, right? On one album. And so you'll hear, shit that you didn't hear before. You'll hear the songs that were on the first EP and then some other stuff. So I Want to Quarantine with You is new and on the album. And there's a song called Wasting Away. There's the title track, The Lonely Ones. And cool. 10 songs for your money.
Did you guys put it out through a label, or did you guys just self put it out?
We put it out ourselves on our own imprint called Short Fuse Records, because I have a shitty temper. The first EP was out on Gabor's imprint. Gabor is not in the band anymore, and so we figured we'd put it on ours. And I guess I should speak to that. Because people ask me, "Hey, what's up with Gabor? Where's he been?" We played a bunch of shows for like a year without Gabor, and I can say emphatically that there was absolutely no like crosswords or any falling out with Gabor. It's just he said he needed to take a hiatus from music, and then he said he couldn't come back full time. Not that he couldn't come back, that he couldn't commit to it full time. He just wasn't in a place to be able to do full-time band all the time with his work and stuff. And so
it happens, man.
Yeah. And that's what it was. I fucking love that guy, man. And he's a brother, and he's proud of the stuff he recorded, and we're proud as hell that he was on it, and we got to write with him, and we wrote so well with him, and I'm so glad I got to play with him. But that said, he couldn't do a band full-time commitment going forward, and that's totally cool. Like, we gave him the space to figure that out, and then let us know. And so, he thought about it. We were doing this thing where we were playing these shows out of town as a 3-piece, so he could play the stuff in town, because he's kind of on call with the nature of his work on weekends, and he didn't want to be the new guy in this job because they shipped his job out of town at the beginning of the pandy.
Yeah.
He didn't want to be the guy calling out all the time, and so that worried him to go that far, at least initially. And so we started playing the shows out of town as a 3-piece, and then started playing shows in town as a 3-piece and stuff. And so anyway, now Lonnie Bristle from Bristle and Dreadful Children is in the band on guitar, and it's a great fit. And Gabor said, "Man, that's the perfect fit for you guys." And so with his blessing as well, Lonnie is taking the reins full charge. And anybody who's met Lonnie before knows he doesn't do anything like he doesn't tiptoe into anything. Like he's a lot of energy, man. So he's just like Kramer into Jerry Seinfeld's. So he's awesome. His energy is great, and man, the guy can write, and he's full of ideas. So we just went in and recorded more I know we just put out an album, and it seems silly to go right back in the week after and record, but
gotta get them while they're hot sometimes.
Well, yeah, and this took 9 months to get. Like, we put out a baby, you know. And so we thought, well, let's go in and record and get the whole process started. And you know, and Lonnie gets to kind of remake some of the songs that we've road tested live and make them his own. And so, yeah, man, the results are incredible. The backups and all this stuff. We did some stuff I didn't expect on the recording. So more to come. We cut 5 songs this weekend, again with Evan Foster, who's from the Boss Martians and Dirty Sidewalks and the Sonics. Yeah, he's an amazing guy. And I mean, I've worked with some amazing people before, Jack and Dino included. And I've loved working with those guys. And I can't say enough good stuff about working with Jack a couple times. But something about the way Evan produced us and coached me with vocals and stuff was really helpful to me. And so we've just kind of locked in perfectly in step with him with the Scoffs. And so I keep returning to that well. I think we've got some magic there. I mean, the results were there on the Talk is Cheap EP, and we wanted to just kind of replicate that magic. And so, yeah, that's where we did it.
Right on, man.
Man, I'm verbose. Sorry.
No, you're all good, man. I love it because like you're the perfect fucking person to interview tonight for me, man. Like I've worked all day, but my mind is frazzled. So like I was like, I know Knuck will talk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. A blessing and a curse, I suppose.
I'm the same way sometimes. My thing is I don't fucking think before I talk. Sometimes I'm quiet, but I don't think before I talk when I do sometimes.
I'm an odd dude. Like people see me as this really kind of outgoing dude. And I guess, I've been able to turn that on in public at shows and stuff. But I mean, towards the end of Drag Strip Riot, I started getting kind of neurotic about always being on display or feeling on display. And so I started kind of retreating backstage and stuff. And that's kind of carried on after killing that band. I'm more of a homebody. And so I guess, I get on these calls and then I got all this shit stored up. So I just blah, 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 blah. Whereas, before I was always out and always going somewhere. So, I try to save it up. It's exhausting to me to be around crowds of people. So I go out. I do it and then I come back and I recharge for 3 weeks or something. So
yeah, a couple things happened to me. I used to be a real fucking people person too, and touring, being in the fucking bar every night when you're not partying and you're working, it's fucking exhausting. And then you just start getting fucking annoyed by those drunk fucking people when you're not one and you're witnessing how fucking stupid they are, pump the brakes on drinking real heavy. That was another thing that made me really antisocial. So I've had to work on myself a lot over the last few years to try to be more social and not such a prick, because we do what we do, man. Fuck. Sucks trying to sell merch when you don't want to fucking talk to people, especially when you're you drove there. Usually I'll sit in my fucking car for an hour outside the venue before I even go in, just fucking trying to unwind and get in that mode,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I find a lot of my nervous energy turns itself into anger. So, Drag Strip Riot was a really aggressive, angry band live. And it's because that's how I get that out. It's an exorcism in a way. And, I still have an
exorcism. That's a good
one. But yeah, I mean, it's exhausting and you meet so many people, you can't remember names anymore. My brain hit its limit with how many names I could remember. And so now people just think I'm an aloof asshole because oh, he asks my name every time I see him or something like that. Like, yeah, man, I maxed out. Like I saw so many faces, and I don't mean to do it. I try, and I'll say somebody's name 3 times thinking, oh, that'll commit it to memory. And then I can't. And anyway, yeah. So I'm a little more neurotic. I quit drinking in April, just for health reasons. I'd really ballooned up over the pandy, and the doctor gave me a tisk tisk. And so I decided, well, man, I got rid of sugar. I got rid of oats and grains, and I got rid of booze, and I just went full health. And all those levels that were bad and off the chart, I backed them all up. So yeah, here I am, kind of old, neurotic, healthy, and trying to figure out my way forward.
I had the same thing happen a few years ago. I was in bad shape, man. I was tipping 500 fucking pounds,
Wow,
fucking
man.
diabetic, and it's been a journey for me. And I replaced all my old habits with fucking food. So it's like now I like taking the last thing I enjoy away from fucking my plate, literally, man. So like, yeah, that's always a struggle with me. But yeah, I kicked the type 2, lost like 175 pounds, something like that. Maybe not quite that much. I don't know. I kind of lose track. I don't like to keep too much track of it because then I get fucking crazy about it, and then I get too hard on myself, and kind of found like if you get too hard on yourself, that's kind of setting yourself up for failure. You have to be serious, take accountability for your shit, but at the same time, you got to fucking give yourself a little bit of wiggle room sometimes. And,
I agree wholeheartedly. I think making anything totemistic is, I think it's counter to the goal. The goal is to change a lifestyle, right? Not count how many days you've experimented with this new thing.
Yeah.
I see these people saying 1 day at a time with their sobriety, and then they're telling you how many days they've done. Well, I mean, don't look at it as a whole. You see every day as one single day. And so, yeah, you don't need to count it. You just need to do it. It's easy to say from my viewpoint. Mine's not the same as everybody else's, but that's how I'd feel about it. Yeah, it's like you put too much responsibility on something, then it's doomed to loom over you.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I mean, I did take it I still take it pretty seriously, especially with all the progress. Now it's for me, it's like anytime I start slipping up and start hitting fucking drive-throughs up too much, and like I go in spurts where I'm like, fuck it, but like it takes about a week from like, dude, you don't be fucking stupid. Like you get it back together, man, because like you fucking made progress. It's a lot easier to get back into that place than it is to fucking get out of it, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there's this thing that happens, like, this shame over failure sets in.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're just like, well, fuck it, I've already blown everything up. Versus if you just wake up the next day and go, okay, that was a mistake. Let's course correct today. I think, yeah, I don't know. I don't have any answers, but that's I'm real bullheaded. So I'm lucky in that I'm just like, this is what I do. This is what I'm doing now. This is my life now. And so wake up, and that's just the way it is. And if I
got that in you and fucking utilize it, that just isn't my personality, man. I'm a instant gratification fella.
Totally. No. Yeah. Oh, me too. I mean, for the most part, I don't know what, like, I'm not disciplined in many aspects of my life. Just in like, I don't know. I can be a real asshole when I've made like some decision. There may be some aspect of I'll show you to it.
Yeah.
I do have a lot of that. I really don't like people trying to keep me down or keep me back or anything like that. It makes me fight harder. And so I think maybe I see it that way. Doctor tells me I'm pre-diabetic. I'm like, oh yeah, fuck you. Watch this. Yeah.
That's how I was, man. My doctor put me on all this shit, and then he was like, since I was so big, I think he just expected me to fucking roll over and fucking take it,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, every time I came back, I'd lose another 20, 50, 20, 30 pounds.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. And he was just like, whoa, like, yeah, I can't remember what it was. Like I did that I blew my ACL out.
Oh
In the
man.
middle of that COVID hit right in that. I should probably be 100 pounds skinnier than I am with everything I fucking went through. It's like you're trying to get in shape and they shut all the fucking gyms down, you know, like
Yeah.
I'm like, I get it. Like I get the COVID thing, but at the same time, I'm like, I can go stand in line with Walmart with some asshole with his fucking mask around his chin when he's coughing everywhere. But I can't go work out in a fucking gym where I sanitize everything when I'm done and before and after, and I'm like away from everybody. Like, why the fuck's this? Like, I'm supposed to be watching myself because I'm at risk, but you're not helping me not be at risk. Like,
I
yeah,
know the thinking changed so much. I think the thinking at the time was uh, greater expelling of particulates with hard physical activity. So I don't know if that spreads it more or what, but I mean, yeah, it was crazy. Like, because nothing was consistent. You go to the airport and people are right on your fucking heels on the escalator with no mask on, or around their chin coughing and shit. Or you get on the airplane, everybody pull it down at once and have your snack. Well, you just negated the entire purpose of wearing it. So yeah, there's a lot of stupidity around the whole thing. Some stuff that started with the kernel of a great idea and then just morphed into complete stupidity. The way we live.
yeah. I I don't know. I have a lot of mixed feelings about it. I try not to be too much of an asshole because, like, I get, I don't think it was like bullshit, but like there's just fucking a lot to it that you said, like you said, there's so much that wasn't thought through, or there's not enough
Yeah.
fucking, there was not enough like follow through with some of the fucking ideas.
Yeah. It was the perfect storm of one, they weren't prepared despite all the warnings.
Mhm.
Two, the trying to make decisions in concert with a president who at the time didn't want to play by the rules or play with anyone else. So you got these scientists that are like not being listened to, but then you've got people are making up, like they're trying to learn what to do in real time because it's a brand new virus, right? So they're like, well, fuck, I think this is the answer. And then there's the lack of consistency from state to state. And then there's slow rollouts for medicine. And and then I think they just capitalized on it. Like, well, we see an opportunity to take advantage of this, so we'll do
Yeah,
that too. And so, it's all this shit coming at once. And it just became this perfect fucked up 4 years worth of bullshit.
I think too. And I think there was a lot of things where there was a lot of nobody wanted to take accountability for being fuck ups through the whole thing too. So it's like
That too. Yeah. And then there was, canceling people for trying to look at the facts and the data and try to get to, I don't know, some real answers. And it's not a conspiracy thing that I've got in my head. I think there was just so much fear going on that people were immediately jumping to shut down dissuading opinions. And while some were asinine, some were probably valid, looking at some of the policies that we've had that helped play into it.
yeah, I don't think there's anybody else that's like kind of explains exactly how I feel about it. And sometimes I don't have the proper way to speak on those things when I'm talking about it, but like it's just like you said, there's like so much bullshit. Like there's too many. The line was drawn, and there was too many people on one side or the other. It got fucking politicized because our president was a fucking moron, and that was the biggest thing. I'm like, we're in a fucking pandemic. This isn't. They don't. It doesn't fucking care if you're Republican or Democrat.
Right. Yeah. It's gonna
Like
kill you either way.
yeah, it's gonna kill you, and there's gonna be fact. Like let's just look at facts. Like, and it should be okay to ask questions when something doesn't fucking seem right, because like common sense says fucking it shouldn't seem right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the shutting down of people asking questions is a really dangerous thing. I think the shutting down discourse, discussion, differing thoughts, and I think it's a really
just not being able to debate anything whatsoever, not even just like questions or like not being able to answer things. But I mean, like you just mentioned cancel culture, man. Like taking away people's freedom of speech is a dangerous thing, no matter how hurtful the words are, you know. In my opinion, people should be held accountable for the shit they say. I'm not saying that,
Right.
but fucking A, man. Like there was literally generations of artists and musicians, including John fucking Denver, who fucking fought Democrats fucking years ago to fucking not fucking outlaw like the NWA and fucking
Dee Snyder,
yeah.
Frank Zappa, Jello Biafra. I mean, there's all these people that fought for free speech, and now we just want to give it back.
Yeah, just like, yeah, okay.
We
No,
don't
we're
want that.
back. We're back again to this. I think this is a good idea. That's fucking dumb.
dipshits.
No shit. And there's a reason they did that, you know. And for me, if somebody wants to be racist, like, fuck them.
Yeah, let them be a fucking shitty racist, and then let them get excommunicated. I don't care.
Exactly. They're gonna like. I'd rather them not be in a closet. You know, fucking. I'd rather know if I'm associating with them out the fucking gate and not learn about it later.
Right.
There's enough of that shit happening with just how shit is now. You know, there's like been friends with somebody for like years and then started hearing them say shit. It's like, fuck, really?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, you know?
Well, and people are going to vote with the dollars. It's funny. It's like, I saw this thing like, why you shouldn't be supporting Pantera. And I'm like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah, okay.
We all know the guy's a fucking piece of garbage, right? So, you know, if the band wants to bring him on tour, then you can vote with your dollars and say, you know what, we're not going to go see that fucking piece of garbage.
Yeah. It's actually funny because I do kind of have a fucking thing I say every once in a while. It's like cancel culture lost me when they told me I can't listen to Pantera.
I'm not listening to Screwdriver either, so you know.
Yeah. I mean, he said some dumb shit, but like, there's another thing too. Is like, I don't fucking separate the shit I like. You know, the content of the words and 90%. I mean, I don't know. I've never heard anything. Maybe I missed something. You know, like just because somebody's a shitty human being doesn't mean their art's garbage. You know.
Well, okay, so I do have a qualifier. I often say that musicians aren't your idols. They never, ever should be. Artists are fucked up people. Artists have always been fucked up people. You look.
We're all narcissists.
Well, yeah, I mean, it takes emotional damage to create something like music or poetry or paintings. Nobody does it when they are. Well, okay, Bob Ross did just fine painting happy trees and stuff. But you look back at the classic painters, you know, they were philanderers, they were child fuckers, they were, they drug addicts, they were communists, they were, it's just, they were Nazis, there were all kinds of terrible people in art. And then you go back to the beginning of rock and roll. Chuck Berry went to jail.
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Young girls across state lines. Jerry Lee Lewis fucked his 14-year-old cousin.
Elvis
Presley groomed a 16-year-old in the house behind his. I mean, it's nonstop. It's
forever.
Yeah. So you can never listen to music again if you're not able to separate the music from the artist, because you're not buying the artist, you're buying a song. And I understand there's going to be people that take issue with that, and I'm not going to, you know, well, then it's okay to buy Screwdriver albums. No, I'm not fucking buying them. I never thought they were that good anyway. When people try to, oh, the first one's really good, I'm like, I don't know, it's pretty fucking generic. But yeah, I don't know, like I'm not getting rid of my Chuck Berry records. I'm sorry, it's just nobody else plays his stuff. And so
well, then you can look at like fuck Johnny Cash. I'm sure he smacked his share of women around. Like not all of them are pieces of shit. Hank Williams,
yeah,
you know, they're fucking, like you said, man. We should not be people's fucking idols. And as a matter of fact, most of the time we're not really. We're just like, unless we're drawing the same kind of fucking people that we're fucking, the people that are really into music that will idolize us, they're already fucked up because they relate to us. We are like a spectacle to fucking anybody normal, you know?
Yeah. And people age, and and with age comes wisdom. And so, you know.
And that's another thing too. I feel people, dude, man, thank God there wasn't fucking camera phones when I was like in high school and fucking junior high and even my early 20s. You know, like, Jesus fucking Christ. I said the dumbest shit. Fucking, I was dumb. Not because I fucking meant the shit that was coming out of my mouth, but it was just a different fucking time, man. And like, you should be allowed to get better, you know? And I'll take accountability for every fucking thing I've ever said or done, you know? But at the same time, I don't feel like I'm a shitty fucking human being. I'm pretty fucking compassionate, you know, about people's feelings and people's rights, you know, just because I said some stupid shit when I was young, because fucking, I always like call it like the Eminem culture days, you know, where fucking anything went, you know? You know, I respect people that fucking got through that and with grace and didn't fall into that pattern. You know, I was a dumb fucking kid, man. I wasn't much of a free thinker until I got a little older. You know, I was kind of a fucking follow the fucking leader kind of guy for a while, you know, and I was the kind of guy that would let shit happen and kind of be like, oh, you know, guys, that's not cool, you know, but you know, when you're young and dumb, man, you don't know what the fuck you're doing, man. That's the lot of it, you know. It's when you're old and you're still doing the same shit that it's really fucking sad.
Yeah. And if you don't allow people the space to change and grow, then you just create hardened people that will definitely solidify their opinions opposite of yours. I think that's what it's like throwing a criminal in prison for these, you know, petty offenses. Well, you're gonna get a harder criminal. That's what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
The guy sold pot. Well, now he's gonna come out, you know, guns blazing. So anyway, yeah.
Yeah. And you don't educate people with that mentality either, you know, and sometimes people just need a little education, a little, you know. I've never learned anything from anybody that was in my face telling me I was stupid or wrong. You know, it's always people that had a good way of just talking to me like a human and showing me what I was doing was stupid.
There's that documentary about the I think he was a preacher in the South, a black fella who befriended members of the KKK and
turned he's a piano player, I think.
Oh, piano player, yeah. So he befriended a bunch of them and turned them, and like he kind of made it his goal. And I mean, that's through sitting down and having a dialogue and showing people the other side of life that they may not understand. And that's what happens with conversations, and not stunting conversation, not shutting it down.
Well, and sometimes people can take 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 bad experiences in their life and blame that on a race, a sexuality, or whatever, gender, and just completely fucking be fucking completely biased towards that or whatever, you know, and they focus on that little factors of the shit that happened, or like the characteristics of the person, instead of just focus on the fact that the shit happened to them, you know. And that goes a lot of different ways too, you know. I mean, it's probably definitely more accurate. The feelings are definitely more solidified with like Black people, Mexicans, and Native Americans towards their hatred towards white people, but you know,
centuries of abuse or neglect.
Yeah, no shit, fucking stealing shit from them, you know. Yeah, no, totally. Locking them up at the fucking borders like animals. Yeah, no, totally.
That would make some. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there are people like me out there that fucking is kind of fucking white that wishes I could fucking do more. I do as much as I can, but fuck, I'm outnumbered by the dumb shit white people myself, you know?
Yeah, I mean, this day and age, I just got to be me and just be the best version of me I can. And I'm not going to put any other designs on that. It's just simply, I've been me. And as long as I keep improving being me, then I'm okay with that. I've done my job.
Yeah, I think that's a good rule of thumb, man. We got about a little under 2 minutes left on this one. I'm gonna stop it. We'll come back and we'll wrap her up.
Okay.
All right, awesome. I'll see you in a second, Nick.
All right, see you.
All right, we're back again.
Right.
Had a little serious talk there. Hopefully, we.
I know you can edit it down wherever you want.
Hi.
You can edit it down as much.
Yeah, I don't edit shit unless there's something particular on there you don't want people to hear.
Oh, I don't care, man. I'm pretty outspoken with, I'm not a piece of shit. So
I think anybody who's like read your post knows you're pretty compassionate, at least about human rights and shit,
Yeah, I'm pretty lucky that I was brought up in a family that that cared about people and didn't want us to be bad people.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up with a pretty good head on my shoulders. I grew up an angry kid, but yeah, ultimately I I don't have anything terrible to say about anybody because I want space for everyone.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was gonna try to get at, is like, we can't just kill these people anyways, like, because they think differently than us, no matter how dumb it is, or fucking, I mean, I guess that they have in the past, but I mean, we shouldn't, I guess it's just, you got to learn how to live with each other. And the more we try, the harder we try to do that, I think the more shit will work itself out.
Well, I feel like I look back to, like 8 years ago, and I feel like there was this great resting peace, or 9 years ago or something, at least a much more peaceable society. And I won't say that it was a great society. I will say that, there's certainly segments of society that were still suffering from issues that they're suffering and decrying today. However, at large, the greater whole of society was a lot less angry and a lot less we weren't trying to tear each other down as much, and I miss that. So
yeah, me as well. We had a pretty good run for a few years of it being pretty calm, no matter which president was on office or whatever. There's a general respect for humans, no matter what their political party was, or and with as bad as like the race wars and shit like that, and the trans and community being attacked and shit like that. I mean, when it comes down to it, the political aspect of it is probably worse than anything,
Yeah, I feel like
high school Texas football. It's like fucking stupid.
Yeah, anytime politics get involved in an issue, a socio-political issue becomes completely politicized, then it becomes all fucked up. Like the people need to champion these things, not these yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, rich assholes trying to pretend like they care for the working class people that are carrying this country on their fucking back.
You remember the Pepsi commercial where there was like a riot and they hand the girl, it was like that Kylie Jenner girl, they hand her a Pepsi or something, and then everybody's dancing and holding hands, and I mean they got torn down for it. It was pretty funny. It was really a stupid commercial. I got live shows coming up. I'll tell you about those.
That's what I was gonna say. I was actually gonna say, let's talk about some live shows.
Right. So my drummer Rob is in another band called Well Adjusted, and they got a hold of the December calendar and just ran roughshod with it. So you won't see the Scoffs in December, which gives us time to write stuff. And so that's why we went in to record. So we've got a little time to now work on the next batch of songs for the next recording. So the next time you'll see us live is going to be January 7 at the Plaid Pig in Portland. No, it's Tacoma. What the fuck is wrong with me? Plaid Pig and Tacoma. I just talked to Drew today to get on the books, so line up to be confirmed. January 21, we're coming back to Portland. And we've only been down there once before, so it'll be good to get back there. We're going to be down there with the Disorderlies. Lonnie's his bandmates from Dreadful Children are in that. And February 4, we're in the Shakedown in Bellingham. We had a killer show there last time we were up there with Kids on Fire, so I'm stoked to get back up there.
I haven't heard that band name for a long time, man. That's cool.
Yeah, they were off the books for a little bit. They were writing and retooling and doing a little introspection stuff, and so they were gone for about a year. They've stayed at it, man, and I would say, man, as their songs have grown, you got to see them live. They're super tight, and their songs are so good now. Like, they keep getting better and better every time I see them. And that's not to say like, oh, look at them, they're all grown up. Like, no, I mean, they just, as people write together, they gel and they find their thing, and they are a well-oiled machine, and their new songs are just firing on all pistons, man.
Right on. Cool.
Like us. Yeah. That's what I'm doing, and then
that's what you're doing these days.
Yeah, I don't know when we'll put out the stuff we just recorded. I do know it's going to be called Factories in Heaven. It's my favorite song that I've ever written. Is going to be the lead track. I guess let's see. Oh, you know what? I could tell you about the songs on this one that you couldn't see when I held it up. So The Lonely Ones, that's an important song to me. I think lyrically, it's one of the best ones that I've written. I got to get a little deeper on this cut, and it was inspired by a close friend of mine who had a tough time growing up, picked on a lot, ostracized. People threw shit at her walking home from school, just outright cruelty. And she grew up to become really beautiful, and people want to know her, and it wasn't always that way. And so I wrote a song in homage to someone suffering that. The song says, she goes to parties on her own, sits in the corner all alone. People she knew back in the day now turn to face the other way. And it opens that way and it continues that way, but then the song resolves on people now wishing they knew more about her, people seeing her for what she is, living her own life and doing things her own way. And then looking inward and realizing they're kind of empty too. So The Lonely Ones is my tip of the hat to girls that grew up being picked on. I mean, really anyone, but this song is about a girl. So yeah, I think it's cool. I hope people listen to it and listen to the words in it, and more deep shit to come, hopefully. Back in the day I wrote a lot of stuff like pistons popping and tits flopping or whatever, but I wanted to be able to flex my writer muscles and talk about stuff that I give a shit about finally. So
yeah, I mean, I think as like artists, man, there's always those songs you look back on and you fucking hate them, but people sometimes love them, and
yeah,
it's the fact you're in such a different place and state of mind and you grow up,
For me, the song is "Damn," the title track of Dragstrip Riot's second album. The lyrics are so stupid to it. I mean, it's all supposed to be kind of fun and wink, wink, nudge, nudge, but I don't know. It was, to me, it felt like lazy writing. So whatever. If you love the song, I'm sorry, I don't love my lyrics anymore, but the riff was still pretty cool.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm multitasking. I'm at work. Speaking of being on call, I'll just be honest with you.
Oh, that's all right.
I'd be a dick, but I have a crisis at work right now. But yeah, but
somebody
I have to support my staff.
I thought somebody sent you a dick pic or something.
No, I wish. Gee golly whiz.
Man, I gotta check this.
Hopefully it's smaller than mine so I can feel better about myself.
There you go. Yeah.
It might be impossible to catch that on camera.
So for anyone watching, text only micro penis pictures. Yeah.
But yeah, so tell me about the title track of your next album. I mean, I know that it's far off, but the track name did intrigue me. So I was wondering about that.
Yeah, Factories in Heaven. It's inspired by I had this job not long ago enough, where I think I was pulling $12 an hour working industrial. I was in a warehouse. The 2-bit had closed where I was the front door guy.
Well, were you?
Talk about putting up with drunk conversation.
No shit. Last time I was there, oh man. Anyways, I won't interrupt you. Keep going, but fucking 2-bit.
Man, people would corral me up front there and just block me in and then repeat themselves all night. I thought, fuck, this is miserable. Loved the place. Didn't enjoy that aspect. But so this I got this daytime gig in a lamp warehouse. Talk about exciting. It was in a lighting warehouse. And I was like feeding a cardboard shredder for half a day, or climbing up ladders and fetching stuff and, scan gun kind of stuff. And I was just, my body hurt. It was mind numbing stupidity. It was just, I was just a cog. Like there was no thought involved in anything I did. I just got to stand there and do this repetition all day. And the mind would wander and, I would have thoughts or daydreams of stuff. And I thought back to those times and I wrote a song about those feelings. And I said, no one ever dreams of factories in heaven. They were never in my fantasies when I was small, grinding out a life for a taste of independence with my head up in the clouds and my back against the wall. And that was literal because I was in this small space feeding this machine and had my back against this wall. And yeah, so it speaks to that. Like these guys didn't have my back. In fact, they talked shit to me. They said, so you used to work in tech, huh? And I said, yeah. And they said, so smart guy, how'd you end up here? And I was
yeah.
like, well, fuck you. I'm struggling. So, why don't you get off my back about it? And so, I wrote, when I can't work, can I be certain someone's got my broken back and broken dreams of no more factories in heaven? It's a theme song for everybody that works a dead end job that is just slowly killing them and giving them nothing in return.
Which I think, most people can relate to. Honestly, man. I mean, I would say probably fucking 90% of people don't really love their job. You're lucky if you can fucking tolerate it.
Yeah. And then you look at all these folks, these people that have literally donated their body to these jobs, essentially these hard labor jobs in factories and stuff, for their entire lives hoping for a pension, and then they just shut the factory down and ship it overseas, and that's it. Sorry, now you're working at Walmart as a greeter. So, it's just a nightmare.
Nothing breaks my heart more than how they treat fucking old broken people in this fucking country, man.
Mm-hmm.
Really, and
yeah, I think a lot of people, I think the song resonates with a lot of people. I know it's a big moment in our live set when we do it. So I was really looking forward to getting this one committed to tape. It's kind of been like the one that I've been gunning for. Like, okay, we've done these, and these were great songs that we were super proud of, but I think we've ratcheted up with this song. So yeah, I'm excited for when this one comes out.
Cool, man. Hell yeah. I think you're smart too, man. Like, you got one coming out, and then you're recording because like you said, with fucking vinyl fucking issues and shit, and Taylor Swift stealing all the fucking vinyl in the world. Like fucking you gotta wait a million years just to get a few, so
old Shifty Swifty. She got us, man. Everybody better buy that album. No, actually, no, they better not, so they never do it again.
It kind of irritates me when I go to Walmart and I see vinyl. I don't know why. I mean, I guess Because I know everybody claims to be this fucking person, but I always fucking love vinyl. I never bailed on vinyl completely. Maybe for a little while in my like junior high school years when CDs were real hot, and it was just nice to have the convenience of not having to like rewind forever to hear a song, or fucking get up off your ass to move the needle,
Yeah.
But I still always kept I always kept my mom's fucking old vinyls, man. She never listened to them, and I still got them. Some of the records I listened to when I was 3 or 4 are sitting on my fucking shelf right now, and a lot of them haven't survived a lot because they've lived through kids and dogs and fucking ex-wives and ex-girlfriends, and heaters. One year I fucking put them above my fucking heater vent and didn't realize it. But some of them are just there for nostalgia purposes now. But yeah, man, and it's
make a good ashtray.
Yeah, I think that actually happened once. Not an ashtray, but I think we melted it into like a bowl that we put our keys into. One of them.
Yeah. I got out of vinyl for a little bit. I even gave a bunch away. And then thankfully that buddy that I gave a bunch to, well, one buddy that he gave a bunch back, not all of them. And then an ex ended up with a ton of mine. But I got back into it and because the listening experience is entirely different. I realized the thing that brings me the most joy in life is music. And I was renting it. I was paying some corporation to borrow music. And that doesn't make any sense to me. If I stop paying a subscription, I no longer have access to all my favorite albums unless I listen to it on shuffle or some shit like that, right? So it's a different thing to physically hold an album, to see the cover as big as it's supposed to be, to read the liner notes, to look at a booklet if it comes with that, see the pictures of the band. And you start remembering what order the tracks are in again, something that I hadn't been able to do for years. I used to tell you when I was a teenager, song 4 on side 2. I could tell you exactly what song it was. And I'd say there's 15 years there where I couldn't do that. And now it's back to, that obsession with music. And so being a vinyl hoarder has brought me back to that. So I know people kind of roll their eyes like, oh, it sounds so much better. Like just stream it. And I'm like, there's a whole emotional aspect to it. And there's a whole archival aspect to it. I want to own the stuff that I listen to that I love.
Yeah. And for me too, I think when and I'm guilty of throwing Spotify on too. I go to the gym and I fucking throw it on my headphones. I can't pack a fucking vinyl with me or have
It'd be pretty funny if you did.
But the one thing though is like I pay more fucking attention. It's like being a fucking kid and listening to fucking music again when I put vinyl on. It's like you said, it's the experience. It's fucking cool. It's you're invested in it, man. You're not fucking around on your phone distracted as much. And even if you are, you're still like, even if you are doing stuff, cleaning the house, fucking booking shows or whatever, or drinking your morning coffee, it's just it's a total different experience. That it's for music lovers, man, not people that put music on for fucking background.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean the colors of the spines and everything. I don't know. I enjoy the whole aspect of it, and cleaning them and taking care of records and stuff. There's a whole thing to it that I just, just one day I woke up and decided I'm gonna do this again and spend a ton of money.
Yeah, I've invested a little more. My kids are really into them too. But yeah,
But yes,
I've always loved vinyl, man.
Skip Walmart and go to the corner store to buy your records, though. Yeah.
Yeah, the sad thing is even that used to be. I remember when you could do that and find fucking gems for like 10 cents.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, you're not finding that shit anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then for a while it became the place where vinyl came to die. Signed up with like abundance of Christmas albums and shit because everybody like, you like vinyls? Here's this. I'm like, get that the fuck out of here. But I'd be nice for a while, but now I'm like, I'll leave people. I mean, it hasn't happened for a minute, but I'll leave people with an armful of fucking vinyl. Like, pack that shit out of my fucking house. Like,
yeah, all the Pete Fountain and Jim Neighbors that you want.
the Christian albums, Christmas albums. It's always Christmas albums, man.
Mannheim Steamroller, Bob Evans, man, he's in every bin. Guy with the sunglasses always has a girl on his arm on the cover. Man, a million of those.
And there's like the old compilation albums for like cigarettes.
Yeah.
Some of those are cool though, to be honest, literally cool. But no, yeah. Do you remember those? Like the old compilation for like Marlboro and shit.
I have an old 45 that is I was like, I wonder what's on this. I was trying to research, before I put it on. My mom gave me a box of 45, so this was stuff that her and her brother owned as kids, and it just said Corvette. I was like, huh. So is it like a Corvette song, like Little GTO, that kind of stuff? No, it's just the sounds of a Corvette. It's just
that's fucking hilarious, man.
It was put out by Corvette for you to listen to what a Corvette sounds like. So there you go.
Fuck, one of my favorites as a kid that my mom had was that fucking Cheech and Chong album with Dave's Not Here.
Dave's Not Here, man.
Yeah, so then a lot of the ones that you used to be able to find just like in fucking bulk, you can buy it by the pound, was those old comedy albums, Bill Cosby albums, speaking of cancel culture.
Yeah, you can find a lot of Bill Cosby albums now.
Yeah, especially now, but even before when he was popular, I felt like there was like an abundance of Bill Cosby fucking comedy albums.
Yeah. I mean, it's old comedy. Comedy isn't like that anymore. It's it's such an almost naive form of comedy, or rather unencumbered by worldly vices.
Yeah.
Hey, Fat Albert's car. Fat Albert had a car. Yeah, this is the one I remember. It had like a jet engine in it or something, and I was like, okay. It was funny to my parents.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, shit, Knuck. I think I'll let you go, man. It was good having you on. I appreciate you coming on. And what songs you want me to play on here for your interview?
Play The Lonely Ones, since I name checked that one and talked about the lyrics. And you mentioned I Want to Quarantine with You, so spin that.
Okay.
They're all up on Spotify and stuff. If you need digi files, I can send those too.
Yeah, no, I think I got them. Do you guys got a website and shit where people can buy your merch and stuff?
Yeah, we're the Scoffs.com, or you can find us on, those link trees. Ours is linktr.ee/the Scoffs, or you can go to the scoffsband.bandcamp.com/merch if you want to buy the record. It's on red vinyl, pretty fucking cool looking. I did all the art for it. I was surprised, I was super nervous, like, what's it going to look like when it comes out of the factory? Is it going to look good? And thank God that everybody seems to like it, and I've gotten a lot of accolades on it. So it's kind of like my first foray into trying to be like a professional graphic artist. I've done band posters and stuff.
I was going to ask who did your logo. I really love you guys' logo. Did you do that?
Yeah, Nate and I collabed on that, finding elements here and there and smacking them together and stuff. For the middle finger logo that we did, I took the Black Flag logo and I just molested it. I took a piece and made it longer to make a middle finger. It made me laugh, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'm going with it." But yeah, and so the cover was all me, man. That was or the whole album, the interior, the lyrics, the band photo, the back cover, all that stuff.
Right on, man.
Yeah,
cool. Well, once again, it's been a pleasure having you. I'll probably hit you up when the next one comes out.
Awesome.
So, yeah, maybe I'll catch a show pretty soon if I can ever get the fuck out of Eastern Oregon for a minute. But
I hope so. Or, get up to Portland or something, or over to Portland.
Yeah, be over. Yeah, one of these days. All right, brother. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, talk to you soon. Bye.
She goes to parties on her own. leave a mark or